Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian, and this is Maintaining Frame number 77. Have men just found a way to be even creepier online? We're going to be going through an article from The Independent that I think you guys will have feelings about.
There will be a feeling or two about this article.
People will have opinions and they will share them.
Yes. Oh, this is a reaction show in which we read an article and have feelings and speak about them. So there you go. That's the general gist of what we're doing here.
Exactly.
I want to understand. Like, there seems to be a big genre in a lot. It covers a lot of different media. You have academic dissertations. You have entire conferences. It seems an ideological movement. So it comes through in very different, I guess, genres. But we have this huge, different mediums. We have this genre that's basically, how can we shit on men today?
Yeah.
How can we
make
a big steaming liquid poop all over the men today? And this is one of the latest installments. I don't know if it's the most recent, but it is, I guess, reasonably recent. When did this come out?
This article 3 days ago.
Yep, 3 days ago. Oh, so it is actually very recent.
Yeah, very recent. 3 days ago. Yep.
Another installment of our society's favorite pastime, which apparently is shitting on men. And it's funny because you read this, you look at this, and it's constant. Like, there's this constant drumbeat of negativity towards men, starting with the whole idea that the primary definition or the primary description of men's attitude or relationship with women is oppression. So we start with that, and then we get all the other various additions to that particular genre. And but it still surprises me that we can go online and find people who think that this has no effect on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're like, well, you know, men just gotta man up. I mean, I know our society is basically saying men are horrible, demonic, worthless, and really should be shoved in a hole. And women are the worst possible decision a woman can make in her life is to share it with a man. But men should still be able to overcome all of that messaging, all the messaging of society on how awful they are, and somehow sell them as a man to a woman, so that we can continue to exist as a civilization. It's like, it seems like that's a really big ask, you know? Because not only does the man have to sell himself, he has to also somehow counter all of this crap, like the article that we are going to be reading today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why are people not pair bonding and having children in the West? Oh, geez, I wonder. But let's blame men some more. That'll surely fix it.
Yeah, I mean, somehow we keep doing it, so there must be something to it.
Yeah, we just keep doing it. All right. Okay. Well, I think laziness is the something that's to it.
Yep.
Fear, embarrassment.
Yep.
You know, you try something new, it might work. And then where are you? You know, if we try not blaming men, you know, that might actually work. And then where are we? With a functional society, what would we do with that? What would we have to complain about, Brian? What? Like, seriously, could you imagine just, you know, us chilling in our crystal spires being like, wow, we've brought life to Alpha Centauri. We've discovered the philosophical mysteries of the universe. You know, but we have nothing left to blame. Jeez, we're really verklempt. All right,
yeah,
sorry, I just
really.
went on a little weird tangent.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I guess I'm good for weird tangents. If you guys didn't know this by now, I guess you would be here.
I think that's why people come here, really. I mean, seems that way. So, I got a couple new little toys running right now that I thought you guys might like and be able to take advantage of. For one, I have figured out a way to get a super chow. So if you send a super chow, it will show on the screen, and I can feature it as a featured chat. So please consider sending a super chat
Oh.
so I can test this feature.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, guys, please.
Work.
I want to see this happen.
Yeah.
Make this happen. Go to feedthebadger.com.
Let me share my screen so you can see the chat is moving. Yep. I also have Rumble showing on the screen too. The Rumble chat is showing, but it's only showing in the OBS, not so people on YouTube still can't see the Rumble chat. But if you look at the screen, you can see the Rumble chat, the Twitch chat, the YouTube chat, the Twitter chat, the Facebook chat, and the DLive chat. If there are people, messaging in those platforms. So
I don't mean to be critical, but you got some anti-aliasing.
Anti-aliasing?
Yeah, that. You got that happening.
It might just be because of the resolution.
And it also looks like your animated
Doge
avatar. Yeah, it needs to be moved over like 1 pixel to the left.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a little outline. I don't know. That seems to be like
actually,
it's artifacting of the.
Yeah, it's artifacting.
Yeah.
I guess it's got that 80s feel.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not driving anybody crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, like only autists like me, but maybe like spontaneously combust into like an 8-bit character. Boom. That would be interesting. Yeah, and I see my lips are moving now. I look like I'm chewing some gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And yeah, send in a super chow, guys. Do it now. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip. Let's watch this voodoo black magic in action. Let's see it. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip.
All right. Yeah. So you want to start looking at the article?
Yeah. No, I'll do the things,
Oh yeah, do the things and then
All right. So if you want to send us a message, and certainly do so we can see the super chow appear as if by magic on the screen. Feedthebadger.com. Oh my goodness, there's something there. No, that's a comment from Rumble, right?
I've made that a featured message. That's all.
Oh, okay. I see. Oh my! You have all the balls.
Yeah.
All the buttons and knobs and sliders.
I'm flexing my powers exactly.
Yeah, secret behind the scenes powers. Oh, look, they have. Now we got some JoJo references coming in.
Some animated gifs.
All right. Okay. Yeah, got to reorientate to what I need to be doing. Okay, so feedthebadger.com/justthetip if you want to send us a message, and we will read it. You can do so even after the show is done if you just want to send us a message and be like, you're not crying into the void. And by crying, I mean outright, like sobbing hysterically. Where is there anyone else out there? Is there anyone? Is there anyone in the darkness? Anyway, if you want to call back to us, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. If you just want to say, hey, I like your content. I feel like it improves the world. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And if you want to help us out for this month, if you want to make sure we can keep doing that content, which is really critical, feedthebadger.com/support. Do so now because we only have like 2 days left and we have a ways to go, like 3,390. We've just had 300. I wouldn't be at all panicked, but it's 3,390. So please help out. I might do some arm twisting at the hour if we get to the hour, because this has a virtue of not being a long article, I think.
Oh, that's good.
I think I have this vague memory. I have a vague memory that there may have been more article after a ad. So I read up to a certain point and then there was an ad and I was like, oh, okay, wait, is that more article? So I think it's a short article, but it might be wrong. So I guess we'll find out.
Depends on whether or not she gets paid by the word. If she gets paid at all.
I think that she gets paid by the man hatred. Like the unit of man hatred. Like maybe our society basically just runs on man hatred. Like we all have these man hatred bars instead of mana bars.
Yeah, sure.
We need to top it up in order to be able to function. Misandry bars, yeah, there you go. I was going for the more colloquial.
Fill up that misandry meter.
Misandry meter. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Let's patent that. We should have like we should put it on like a Fitbit, like have a little misandry meter. Have you gotten your misandry in today? You know, you're supposed to do like 10,000 steps. You should do at least 5 or 6 misandries a day.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Somebody get on that. I bet that's going to be the next big thing. All right.
Oh, I got a super chow. Hold up. I got a super chow.
Ooh, cool.
Telemnar bot gives us, looks like 3 different donations. 50, 50, and 10.
I can extricate meaning from that.
Yeah. Do you want to read it? Can you see it on the?
I can see it. I can read it and I can articulate what's going on, because he's. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, he gives us $50 to the fundraiser at feedthebadger.com/support.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then he gives us $50 for super chow. And then he gives us another $10. So I'm guessing he wanted to give a $60 super chow.
Oh, but there's a limit.
But no, perhaps he was foiled by the set amounts that I set up, which, it makes it easier for me to make the product. Anyway, so this is a $60 super chow from Telemnar bot.
Thank you.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, you two. Is this super chow working? Will you ever get around to starting the show? Or will there be an amount of waffling that would be suitable for a brunch rather than a radio show? Well, would it be HBR without the lavish amount of waffling of waffles? Like we have more waffles than an English breakfast. There you go.
I don't think they eat waffles. Maybe Belgium.
Belgium? Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Like a continental breakfast. That's what. Yeah, the continental Europeans. They're the ones with the waffles. All right, there you go.
All right. Well, thank you for testing it. It looks like it works
well. Thank you.
Here's a thank you for the for that donation. So.
Wow, that's really awesome.
You see that?
Of course, you saw it. You set it up. That's amazing.
What did I set up? Oh, when I put it on the screen, I know.
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I worked on that. The only thing I need to figure out now is because RestreamBot re-messages other people's messages and other chats, and that's coming up. So sometimes when people post on YouTube, it'll also pop up on Twitch, and I don't want that. So I kind of want to get rid of RestreamBot so that it only displays the chat. But I'm afraid that if I block this user, it'll block the person that RestreamBot is. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, somebody says Waffle House without the fighting.
I think I just blocked RestreamBot. Test it out. See if that worked. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say that I think there was a RestreamBot from FreeCat, and it says
Waffle House without the fighting.
Yeah, but then you got rid of the free the Restream bot stuff, and now we're just seeing
but now I see there's Restream Cat's message Waffle House without the fighting. So it worked. It worked. Okay.
Yep.
So
that's exactly what we are.
This is so much cleaner now. All right.
We're just waffles everywhere. Just imagine coming to the Badger Cave, and it's just like waffles flying around like that. You remember that episode of Star Trek where they had the brain slugs, but they sort of look like eggs, like fried eggs?
Yeah.
You don't remember that, do you? You're just saying yeah because you're trying to.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
You're just like yeah.
I'm doing too much work over here. Okay, so I got another super chow from Real Raven. It says Real Raven bot, but that's just because the super chow posts in Discord, and the super chow is a bot. So thank you, Real Raven, for that.
All right.
And he gives us $22.22 and says second on screen. So it's a bunch of 2s. So if any of you guys are into numerology, that probably means something.
Okay, maybe we should take a look. I mean, after all, part of the fun is to discover what secret thing you guys are actually telling us through the what dog whistles you're attempting to give us through the super chows. Number 2, numerology.
I have no idea. Or 22.
Okay, no, I don't want traits of people who are number 2. Who is number 22? numerology. Oh, okay. Soul number 20. That sounds like a lot of woo. I feel like
it's numerology.
I just had
so
a critical dose of woo with just soul number 22. Soul number 22 is seen as the most powerful and creative number of all.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh goodness. All right.
Well, thank you. I guess we are kind of creative.
Yeah, we are. I would say so. I mean, look at what Brian has created. This amazing way for you to communicate directly to us in our little infinite plane of space. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It is cool. You know what? You know what it is? I'm pretty sure that he took it as a personal challenge when I said that there were standard amounts that you could donate through or support through Super Chat. And he's like, yeah, woman, I'm going to do a non-standard amount.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Real Raven.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, give whatever non-standard amounts you want.
Yep.
And then we will scratch our heads over what the meaning of them are. Okay, so shall we actually start?
Yeah, let's start the article. So I am still displaying the chat. I hope that doesn't make things way too crazy, but there isn't much to see in terms of the article anyway. So we'll just go through that. All right. Oh my god, what is this? I hate this shit.
So a lot of ads and stuff, you know.
Yeah, we're really like going pop-up windows and stuff.
We're really going like retro '90s websites, you know, with the clipping and the overlays, and it's getting a little busy here.
It's a little busy. I could always just like, you know, put like a black screen up and just have the chat and just read through, because it's not like the article has like graphs. It's just text. So would you guys prefer that? I might do that.
Honestly, I think maybe we should read the article and just bring up the chat when it's relevant.
Leave this. Oh, you mean like make it visible when it's relevant?
Yeah, like just when you want to feature a comment of interest.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
That way people can know when we actually started reading the article, you see. It's like it's a pro tip.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, so this is from The Independent and is written by Victoria Richards, and it is entitled, "Have Men Just Found a Way to Be Even Creepier Online?" It's no secret that toxic men will go to extraordinary lengths to berate, bore, and belittle women on the internet. But that doesn't mean I wasn't shocked to find one man taking things to another level.
How is this published on presumably a news site?
What?
Dun dun dun. I hear it. You know, part of the problem is I don't hear those, so I don't know when to shut up.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah, I can't hear them.
You're supposed to, because it's playing out of my microphone. So I don't know why you're not hearing it. It's like if it would be the same as me talking into the mic. But it's okay. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Yeah. I'll try not to.
Well, what I was gonna say is this is news. Like this is news. This is something that they feel is fit for public consumption, that they put out there, and they're like, yeah, we need to talk about this. What? No. This is just another day. This is another moment of just shitting on men. What motivates content like this? Like, really? And also, why does this woman look like Morticia Adams?
She does, right?
Yeah, I'm not actually. She looks more like
It seems appropriate for the time of year.
Yeah, it seems appropriate for the time of year. I mean, honestly, I think Morticia Adams is more attractive and has better taste. But you know, like honestly, like, what is this for?
I don't know.
Why are we? How did this go through many layers of presumably quality control to land like a cow plat on people's screens?
Mm-hmm.
Like, doesn't nobody else like just be like, why is this? Why? What is wrong with our society that this is something that people spend time on? Not opposing, because I think people need to realize that this is stupid. It is ideologically driven. It doesn't reflect reality. This is nonsense. I mean, I think people need to respond to it. I don't know why it exists in the first place. No, I do know why it exists in the first place, but
yeah,
I'm just expressing, you know, a rhetorical confusion, shall we say?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, I got another super chow. So I'm going to
Oh,
put it
cool.
on the screen. Telamnar Bot gave us $10. Thank you, Telamnar Bot.
All right, all right, all right.
And he says $10 continental breakfasts are more French and are for people who do not want to eat breakfast. They are tragically waffleless, unlike the Badgers. Okay.
Oh man.
Unlike us.
Throwing shade. Throwing shade.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
Okay.
that. Okay, let's get into the meat of this thing. Ask any woman if she's been the recipient of unwanted, unsolicited contact from men, and you'll get, I would hazard, a universal yes.
Yeah, insofar as we live in a free world and men have the ability to speak. Like, what kind of Victorian nonsense is this? The men are not giving us their calling card, and there is a man.
Yeah, right.
They're actually
I don't
coming
remember throwing my handkerchief on the ground to see if he would pick it up.
Like, but yes, I have had men come up to me and talk to me unsolicited. For some reason I look like I know where things are. So guys have come up to me and said, "Hey, do you know where this thing is?" And I'll be like, no, I don't. And they'll be like, "Gosh, well, I'll go find someone else who looks like actually has a clue." So yeah, men have approached me unsolicited. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Unsolicited, unwanted, and unsolicited. Because that's a really wide net if you think about it. Like, if a man has ever come up to a woman for any reason, ever, it's unsolicited.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what it says is something more about women than the men that do that. Because I think that it says unsolicited contact from men. Unwanted, unsolicited. So what that means is that if it's true, and I'm not sure that it's true, that most women or all women, because she just says ask any woman. I don't think it's true to that degree, but I think that you'll probably find a lot of women that would say that they received unwanted contact, but that's only because the contact or let's say conversation or approaches that they want are from men that are basically at the top of the food chain. Like, they don't want normal men approaching them. And again, it's not about, like, there's nothing necessarily romantic suggested. Like, if you're a man and you're like asking for directions and you go to a woman, she could consider that unwanted. That doesn't mean anything. That means that she's a bitch. I mean, because she could, like, instead of walking away going, why did he approach me? She could just answer his question and then get on with the rest of her day. But it seems like this woman obsesses over every interaction, and
she has nothing else in her life, really.
Yeah, but she couldn't. It would seem that way because, again, like, if it was a man she wanted to have talk to her, this article wouldn't exist because she wouldn't complain. So this is clearly about men that are not of the caliber that she wants approaching her.
This isn't a dating article. This is actually sort of worse.
I know, but I'm saying, I think it boils down. I heard this today, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and I think it's apt in most interactions between men and women. Men are salesmen, women are marketers. That means that men are the ones that have to, like, be like the salesperson that approaches. They're expected to be. I'm not saying this is the set in stone, but this is just the norm that we live in. Men are expected to approach women and sell themselves to them. They are salespeople. Women are marketers. They just put the merchandise out there and then they just wait for people to approach. The problem is that women want certain salesmen trying to sell their product or buy their product, I guess you could say, making offers, whatever it is. And I think that this woman doesn't understand that about men because she seems to live in a world where the only way the only way she's going to end up talking to a man is if he approaches her. But she automatically assumes that most men who approach her are a danger to her or are up to something. There's something sinister happening. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I think it's even simpler. because it's right in the word unsolicited contact. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ask any woman if she's ever been the recipient of unsolicited contact from men. So, in other words, a man goes up to a woman without her permission and speaks to her. Think about that. This is what she's calling out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
A man goes up to a woman. There's no other qualification here. A man goes up to a woman and speaks to her. Now, I mean, she does say also unwanted, so it could mean unwanted and unsolicited contact for men.
Good.
But yeah, it could. But the unsolicited really throws a wide net. Because how many times do men in their life talk to women without first having gotten their permission to do so? How the hell do you talk to somebody without first getting their permission to? Like, how do you contact someone prior to getting their permission? You know, I'm feeling like that feeling I had at the border, no offense to the Americans, where I had to have a visa before I could apply for the visa that I had to have before I applied for that visa. You know what I mean? Like, I could only go to the border to apply for this visa, but I was caught, or they accused me of being undocumented because I didn't have the visa that I had to be at the border to apply for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of hooey. Okay?
Yeah.
Right at the start. Like, is she expecting people to actually swallow this? And who does? And if you're swallowing this, ladies,
well,
you really have no excuse. You really have no excuse for spitting and not swallowing.
Yeah.
This is much, much worse than anything any lover could ask you to swallow. All right.
Yeah, I think that I think that women do have this thing where, they do. I think that this is actually kind of normal. I wouldn't say it's like the average woman, but I think it's normal to find any unsolicited actions that men take, specifically just conversation or whatever, to be at first off-putting at least. So something to be suspicious of.
What a surprise! Like, considering that our culture is inundated with, you know, this crap where we just basically cast aspersions on men.
Yep.
And just assume bad faith and the worst possible motives of men.
Yep. It's almost like that was the point.
Yeah. And what I'm getting at is, like, when you look at it, this enormous tsunami of misandry and articles like this, and it's not just this article, it's like the whole field of it. I mean, there's so much of it, so much you can't even respond to all of it. I mean, if me and Brian worked, I don't know, 16-hour days, we still couldn't respond to all of the misandry that's out there. We couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be impossible. And this is something that our society really loves doing. And the question is, what is it? What is it that makes this so appealing to us? That we just really, a day is not complete without shitting on men.
Yep.
And people say that, you know, I don't know, like I'm exaggerating but am I? Like, this is what I observe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a constant, endless drumbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And all I think I'm doing is pointing it out and just being, like, flabbergasted by it. Let's say maybe I'm an alien life form coming on. I'm like, well, they seem to love eggs and shitting on men.
Yep.
They're a strange species. And cats. You know, they like very, very selfish, small, furry animals that don't communicate well. And eggs and shitting on men. It's like the Encyclopedia Galactica the Encyclopedia Galactica entry on humans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got another super chow. So
okay,
I'm going to put it on the screen here. So Telemnar Bot gives us $10. Thank you, sir.
Party time! Excellent!
Okay. And he gives us $10 and says, I too look like I seem to know things. Get asked for directions in such fairly regularly. Once by a woman from Kansas. You had better believe I worked a Wizard of Oz reference into that encounter. All right. Thank you so much for the super chow. I think these work pretty well.
Yes. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if people are enjoying that. Send more. It's sort of fun to see them pop up.
I know.
Okay.
I like having that kind of power over the chat. Okay, back to the article. From D-pics on the tube and the sinister viral video of the man who crossed railway tracks to hassle a woman. What? Sinister
Dick
viral
pics
video?
on the tube?
On the
Dick
tube,
pics
I think she means the train. This is like a UK thing. So I guess there are men sharing D-pics on the tube, on the train. I don't know.
Implausible, but okay.
Seems a little implausible. I mean, unless you're talking about some weird homeless guy. I don't know if. Well, I'm sure London has characters, but anyway, doesn't matter. She's just assuming stuff. So and the sinister viral video of a man, or the man, who crossed railway tracks to hassle a woman, to the average man who just wants to know your name and what you're reading, past tense since he interrupted, nobody's reading anymore. Male to female harassment comes in many murky, misogynistic forms, particularly on social media, but ladies, brace yourselves. There's a new one in town. OMG. You thought it was bad when men said hello to you on the street.
Oh, good Lord. And you know what's really freaking hilarious is, once again, you know, my altercation with that guy, Date Psych. And
oh, yeah. Is it from before?
When are these dating coaches?
Oh,
yeah, it's
no,
from before. It's from before. He was the one who was like, yeah,
they're not approaching. What's the problem is they're not approaching women. Yeah.
Yeah, men aren't approaching women because they're cowards.
Just take the creep allegation and the police come into your house, bro. Just deal with it.
Yeah, just man up. And it's like, do you see what is continually being pushed out by media about men? We got just an empty screen here.
Yeah,
maybe scroll up.
Let's scroll to the next
paragraph. Yeah, give him a preview, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you not notice this stuff?
No, I don't think it's in his.
Constantly talking about how awful it is to be approached by men. Like, and I never see these women who tell men how awful it is to be approached by them going after the Date Psychs of the world and saying, "Shut up! Why are you encouraging men to traumatize us with this behavior of approaching us in public?" So funny that.
Yep.
You know, instead they go after people like us who are like, yeah, you know, maybe if they say they don't want it, and why not just, considering all of the potential negative things, like why is it that feminists are proposing all of these negative outcomes for men approaching women if they don't want to stop it? Like, and we get called misogynist because we're like, well, dude, you know, like, they have all of these negative outcomes now for men approaching women. Maybe prioritize your own safety and just don't approach women. Oh, you misogynist! Well, wasn't that what you intended by creating these negative outcomes in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. It's so bizarre. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let me go back to the article.
Yep.
Last night, I received an unsolicited message from a man on eBay. Yes, you heard that right. The online shopping portal. The one you might find yourself trawling at midnight on a Tuesday, doom scrolling to distract yourself from the dread of the 9 to 5. OMG, how hard it is to work a 9 to 5 job. Which, by the way, is a job that a lot of people that I know, like that are lower income, would love to work, by the way. When you are suddenly struck by the desperate desire for a 3-piece vintage suit, or inquiring after the shipping costs of buying red panda plushies in bulk because they're just so goddamn cute and would make such good Christmas presents for all the kids you know, look them up if you don't believe me. She's writing about herself. Hence the,
Of course she's writing about herself, but this is news.
Yeah.
This is news, and people read this schlock and aren't like, wow, this really makes me think the Independent is a worthless outlet for information. Like, you don't read this and be like, why this actually discredits the people who would even publish this. Yeah, this is just, and also, is it like an advertisement for red panda plushies? Like, what? or is this like written by the AI, like the misandry AI? So just it feels like it's
No
just
idea.
throwing
Yeah,
a
no,
bunch
I
of
think
buzzwords,
they are the
current
messenger AI.
nomenclature,
Yeah.
you know, and popular items, but and then misandry, because humans love misandry. All right, let's keep going.
All right, I got another super chow
Oh,
from
great.
Urushima. Gives us $5. Thank you. And he says, halfway through the Pluto anime, and once again reminded Helena is a real gem of a wife. Smart, understanding, pretty, a robot woman who has better character than any IRL female meatbag.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, Helena is a good character. Of course, there was also Brando's wife, who's a bit of a harridan, but presumably loyal. These are references you probably don't know.
Nope.
Brando is one of the 7 great robots that are part of this robot murder mystery called Pluto. It's a really good anime, by the way. I really recommend it. Good manga.
Yeah, so I heard.
Real tear jerker. I have cried at every single episode. Okay.
All right, back to the article. So, what could the man who tracked me down on eBay hope to find out about me? Is it my penchant for mismatched china? All the better to pour Hendrix gin from at ill-advised Sunday afternoon tea parties? Perhaps it's my obsession with the exact shade of lipstick flavored by Sylvia Plath. Yeah, I know. I'm like, what? It sounds like an application
Favored.
for a man. But obviously you don't want one, and I wouldn't recommend any to you. But it just sounds like, look at how quirky and interesting I am, and how alone I am.
Mm-hmm.
If you're prowling eBay at 3 a.m., I'm sorry. I should not assume, but I do.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. What?
I should not do this thing, but I can't help it because you're
okay.
so obnoxious.
What he was actually doing, in fact, was going out of his way to contact me to tell me how wrong and stupid I was. How I, quote, don't understand capitalism, end quote. Well, she probably doesn't. She's a feminist.
Well, she doesn't seem to understand eBay. How is he supposed to find your interest in China patterns from... And how the heck so you just used your name on your eBay freaking store? Like, okay,
yeah,
but here's the thing.
I don't know. Unless...
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, lady. Okay. In the past, when people wanted to send you a grievance, they would send it to your home or to your workplace. Technically, eBay is your workplace if you have a store. So you're saying, oh my God, this guy sent me a meanly worded letter to my workplace. Yeah, and if you're a public figure making public commentary on things that are accessible to the public, you're going to get the occasional harshly worded missive in whatever way that you can be contacted. None of this is creepy. Okay? Yeah, maybe it's a little bit weird that he tracked you down on eBay, but one assumes that it's because it's the only way to get in contact with you. And also, it's not really that threatening. You got an eBay store. It's not like you can find your personal address. It's not like it's a real life work area, which would be the other way of getting in contact with you in the past. Right? You put your public opinions out there, and you will get people's opinions back. All right? I am. It's interesting how much you must have riled him. I guess that'll be in the next few sentences. The explanation.
Yeah. I guess so. Okay. So incensed was this stranger by a tongue-in-cheek piece I'd written sympathizing with a Gen Z TikToker who went viral for crying about her first job after graduation that he went all out to track me down. Oh, I know. I think I know the video she's talking about.
Okay, give us the rundown then.
Well, let me open it in a new tab just to make sure that I'm talking about the correct one. Cries about her job. I think I know who it is.
Hey guys, so like.
Oh no, that's not the one.
Well, just read.
This is the one right here. Yeah. So it's whatever this is. I don't know how to close this, but it's not this one. It's the one in the background. It's not the one that popped up in my frame. So anyway, the short version is this girl, she's a college grad. She's working a job, a 9 to 5. Her commute is long. She's very upset because it's like, essentially life isn't working the way that she thought it would. And she's not sure what to do. Now, she does also say that her period is starting soon, so she might just be like emotional in the moment. I'm not saying that. She said that. I'm just, adding that additional context. But essentially, it went viral because it started a conversation about like, should, I don't know, women, I mean, because men have been working like 12, 14, 16-hour days for like, I don't know, hundreds of years. Like, no one's ever said we got to do something about that. But this young woman is working a 9 to 5, and she's like unable to find time for anything else. It takes her like an hour and a half to commute back and forth, and she has to go right to bed. And she's like, how does anyone have time for friends? How does anyone have time for finding a significant other, etc.? And it's just all this regret. And of course, she feels like she should be doing something greater because she's working, like, she got a degree and she's not using the degree. So it's like, okay, I get it. It sucks, but that's like most people's experience. Like, that's a lot of people's experience, and it's not unique to women at all. And maybe, if like, I don't know, if we did something to like, if we could live within our means, we can probably do better. But I don't think she'd be willing to make that compromise. Like, I think it comes down to like, you can't have it all. You're gonna have to balance some shit out. You're gonna have to give some things up, and you're gonna have to work with someone. Like, maybe, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is the world that we're living in, and I hate to say it, but women are a big reason why we're in this place. I mean, women are a big part
they
of the
hold up
reason.
half the sky, so
They
if the
hold up
sky
half the sky,
falls,
exactly. Yeah.
they have at least half the blame.
Yeah.
Okay, but all right, so let's find out the dread horrible thing that this guy did.
All right. So, email, easy enough to find out, wasn't enough for him. A message request on Twitter/X, which I would have righteously ignored for who wants unsolicited abuse, would have been eye-rollingly predictable. But eBay... Okay. Oh, so she's saying if he had done it through email, that would have been one thing. Twitter would have been another thing, but this is eBay. I guess this is like her
email
safe haven.
Easy enough. Email was easy enough to find out, but and how do you know that he found that out?
No, she's saying that if he reached out to her via email, she wouldn't be surprised because probably her email is easy to get. That's what she's saying. And then she says, if he had sent her a message request on Twitter then that would have been predictable, right? But eBay is like a new level of creepy. That's what she's saying. She's not saying that he tracked her email down. She's actually saying that her email is accessible, probably someplace, because she writes for The Independent, right? So, but what she's cringing, or what upsets her, is that he found her in eBay, which is her safe haven, where she can be the material consumerist that she always wants to be while complaining about the existence of stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah, but the thing is that eBay is like a platform where people might be able to send you messages, but they don't get any more personal information than that. I don't see why this is more threatening than email in any way. It's a little bit odd. Perhaps he wasn't able to locate her email.
Maybe,
although I'm sure.
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Well, I'm sure if he did, that this would. Well, I guess it's not. It's passé to complain about email now. Now you're complaining about eBay messages.
Yeah. So
woman receives eBay message, and here we are. And here we are.
Yep. Okay. Women most affected. I got another super chow. Kind of a long one. Oops. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, it's so long. I can't fit the whole thing. Okay, I'll have to read what's here. I don't know why it's doing that, but Telenar bot gives us $10 and says negative outcomes for approaching are for men who cause them to feel negative emotions by approaching them. for whatever reason. If a man approaches her and causes positive emotions, he will get positive outcomes. However, it is increasingly difficult to know what a woman's reaction is going to be ahead of time, since their taste, mood, and situations vary so much. So that's just not helpful. Also, this article is at the level of a glorified blog post, not a serious journalism. Well, what is serious journalism these days? I have a book of old letters written to the Times by members of the public, which are more adult and serious or more funny than this junk. Yeah, this is just the state of modernity itself, really. I mean, sadly.
Well, let's see if she gets to a point where something happens.
Let's get back to this then. Thank you, Telemnar.
Let's get back to I mean, this is after all the spooky season, and what could be more spooky than receiving a message on your eBay account?
Yeah, no, than somebody messaging you on eBay. Oh!
All right. Okay.
But eBay, I'll admit, I didn't see that coming. It was like a jump scare. Is the man who contacted me the one who signed off his lengthy, ranty, intrusive missive with "regrettably yours" really interested in the sofa I sold in 2005? I'll tell you what's... What?
Does she think that women don't do stuff like this or something? Because that's the presumption of this. It's like, oh, only men send messages through eBay that are ranty. You know, only men do this thing. And if he could track down her email so easily, like, I'm just curious, like, if her email is out there and he chose to go through eBay, which is a strange choice, admittedly, but still, like, why would you assume that there's some kind of huge malfeasance behind this versus he just happened to find your eBay thing first? You know?
Yeah, I don't... You know, somebody in the... Tyler Preston said something. I'm gonna put it up here. Matthew Perry died drowning in his jacuzzi, I think. A hockey player died because of ice skates. I don't know if you heard about that horrible story. But a woman gets a message from eBay, and it's more serious. Yes, stop the presses, guys.
Stop the presses. I received a message from eBay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know we're on the verge of World War III, but this guy, unsolicited guy, by the way, sent me a message on eBay.
Oh,
maybe we need a war so people get some perspective. All right.
No, that's only gonna be for men.
Yeah, Oh, I gotta get them, but there are some funny little TikTok videos about women, like, and their thoughts on a draft that will draft women. It's pretty funny. I'll have to find them and get back to you, though. I saw them like last night in a weird corner of the internet.
They're against a draft of women.
Well, they're kind of making light of it because I think some of them don't think it will actually happen. But there is like a lot of women. There was one video that was really funny where, you know, there was a saying that was like, oh, it looks like they're going to be drafting women. And all the women in the comments were like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in the kitchen, you know, like, like they're just like all the feminism's out the window. It's pretty funny. Of course they will, though. They'll twist their hair into ponytails and be like,
I wouldn't say that the feminism is out the window. I think the feminism is really about getting what you can out of society and giving nothing.
Yeah.
So of course they're going to be like, oh, we don't want to get drafted. We're the women's. We don't have to pay for anything. We have things paid for us.
Yeah, you have to pay for history.
Ugh.
All right. Okay. But anyway. So I'll tell you what's regrettable: men invading women's personal spaces, as happens at just about any bar. No, it's not.
eBay is not a personal space, but continue.
Neither is, well, as happens at just about any bar, pub, workplace, or park bench, and even on Tinder. Wait. Isn't Tinder where you're supposed to meet men? What are you using it for?
Jesus Christ. She's using it for not meeting men, Brian.
She's there. She's there and she's like, I dare you to swipe right on me. I dare you. Or whatever the swiping is. If you swipe right on me, so help me God.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Oh man.
This has got to be a Poe. At what point are we like this? Morticia Addams is trolling us.
I know. I think she has this delusional mindset. I think so. All right. But anyway, the The strangers who tell you to smile, darling, or to cheer up, love, it might never happen. The ones who motion for you to remove your headphones in the park when you're quite content listening to Taylor Swift. Oh God, this woman is like, it's like, is this a parody of a woman?
That's what I was saying.
Thank you very much. And the lyrics to "This is why we can't have nice things" have never felt quite so apt. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's just...
I really doubt that
this is
men
painful.
spend this much time on her.
No, I don't think they spend this much time thinking about the opposite sex.
And why can't I just say this? Guys, if you are one of these men who is engaging with women like this, just stop. Have some dignity.
Yeah.
Walk away from this entire shitty thing. And I know, that guy Date Psych is probably like, oh, you're just encouraging them. It's like, at what point do men have the right to expect a minimum level of some kind of respect as being humans? I don't mean like, I don't know what respect women kind of respect, but just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that the stuff needs to stop. All right.
I got a super chat from Albert Nada Retro, and he gives us $2. Thank you, Albert, and says, like Burr said, no feminists in a house fire. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, we'll back to the article. All right. And when you do remove your headphones, when you are jolted out of simply minding your own business, the man in question thinks he has a right to know what you are listening to. What he really wants to know, it seems to me, is what on earth you think you are doing here. A woman alone on a bench. How very dare you? The audacity of solitude. It is offensive to men like this. Wow. She's got psychic powers. We need the X-Men theme. Like, she can read men's minds like Professor X. You know? It's like... Yeah. She knows what men are thinking, guys. And when you tell them that actually you're fine, thanks, and you'd like to be left alone, 9 times out of 10, they become aggressive. Call you a bitch. Act hurt and wounded because why wouldn't you want their attention? How could you possibly prefer to be so lonely and unaccompanied, so adrift in damselhood, so achingly, eye-wateringly solitary? What is a quiet park jaunt without the interjection of a penis?
Good God. Like... I think her misandry has broke my head.
Why are you gay?
I mean, this is like literal like political lesbianism. I think that's what it looks like. I don't know. Okay.
Why don't you just wear a shirt that says "I hate men"?
Yeah.
I mean,
just
too.
Oh yeah, the UK. I don't. Sometimes I wonder if the UK's feminism isn't worse than.
And then like again, I know I keep repeating this guy. Like the dating coaches, he say, yeah, just keep doing it, men.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk to men, dear. You need to get on Twitter and start talking to Date Psych. You need to get on his ass and start telling him, stop telling men to approach you in public or to approach women in public, because that's what he counsels. Just stop. That's what you need to do. Because you writing this article isn't doing anything. You need to start targeting the dating coaches and start, spamming them. No, just send your swarm of hornets after them, telling them that they need to stop telling men to approach women. They need to stop shaming men into approaching women. You're not doing much here. You need to go to the source.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Where was I? And okay. And when you tell them not that actually you're fine, thanks, and you'd like to be left alone. Oh no, I already read that part, right? Yeah. If you're wondering why we might seem hostile, well, no, I'm not even wondering about it, but I think you're the only one really being hostile.
I'm wondering how we went from an eBay message to this shit, but
yeah, everywhere on the streets.
I'm sure the escalation is not complete, so let's just ride the roller coaster up.
Yeah.
Listening to that knocking that you have as you're being wound up to the top. Yep, we're in that process here. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure there's going to be more escalation, so buckle in, folks.
Let's do it. If you are wondering why we might seem hostile, consider this. Men's intrusions into women's lives aren't always so harmless. Examples like the one above are irritating, certainly, but not dangerous. I have friends who have been date raped and sexually assaulted, and have even experienced that myself, with a link to another article. I'll just take a quick... I'll just peek at it. I don't know.
Okay, you peek at it. I'm gonna...
why I'm not surprised by the Russell Brand allegation. So she's using that to talk about something else, perhaps. Or she's, like, kind of bragging that she was one of his victims. I don't know. I don't care anymore.
Hello there, you awakening wonder.
No, shut up.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me unpack this.
Yep.
This is why I'm going to tell you guys something. We're not going to get anywhere until we kick out the pillar of sexual assault. Now, first of all, in the UK, it is not considered, like, men can't be raped by women. So she lives in a society in which one group's being raped is not even recognized as rape. So right off the bat, her victimhood is lesser, honestly, or at least less marginalized. But this is one of the big pillars that feminism situates itself on, and that is sexual violence. And the only way we are going to move forward is if we kick that one out. And we have to do it by forcing people to recognize that there are two legitimate positions when it comes to the relative rate of sexual assault. One, we don't know how much men rape women versus women rape men. We don't know. Or two, it's close to parity. Those are the two legitimate responses based on the data that we have now. Full stop.
Okay.
Anything else is a con. Anything else is trying to sell you something. Anything else is demonizing men. And that pillar has got to go. And this is why I think that conservatives, and I'm not talking about all conservatives, because there are some individual conservatives who understand this and are open to talking about this problem.
Sure.
But as long as feminists have this lie, they have everything else. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They can always escalate and default, and you see this in this article. We've gone from receiving a goddamn eBay comment to rape. They will always do this. They will always retreat and justify everything based on, well, men rape women.
Mm-hmm.
And until that weapon is removed, they win. And conservatives are not prepared to recognize the epidemic of women sexually assaulting men. And the fact that we don't talk about it, we don't recognize it, we don't want to do anything about it. And unfortunately, because we don't, we're never going to be able to do anything about the prevalence of sexual assault overall. Period. Because we're ignoring half of the data and half of the victims. All right?
Yeah.
So, and also we're giving feminists a weapon to continue to control the discourse. So this has to go. And if you are not able to accept it and not able to hold people to the fire on this one issue, you lose them all. And unfortunately, the general average mass of conservatives is not prepared to do this. Women rape men. It is entirely within the realm of possibility that women rape men as much as men rape women. Okay? Women's sexual violence towards men is massive. It is unspoken about. It is unrecognized. And also, the lies about this reality are used to further demonize men. I mean, think about it. We live in a society where women can basically rape men with impunity, get away with it, and really get away with it, as in there is almost no conviction. And it is a significant issue. And then they turn around and they say rape is a male action. Therefore, I'm going to demonize you.
Yep.
Therefore, somehow eBay comment something rape.
Yep.
So this is like the sheer level of perfidy of this is gobsmacking. It's one of the things that just horrifies me on the face. That this is the situation that we live in. Not only is this something that men face and have to live with, they're also condemned as being uniquely rapey. I don't know, like maybe the people that have played an instrumental part in not recognizing the rape of men, not treating it as serious, minimizing it, creating narratives that minimize it, that make it somebody else, like make it their men's own problem. Maybe they're the rapey ones.
Yeah,
maybe they're the ones who are responsible for this in a way that other people aren't.
All right. I've spent... Oh, yeah, let me go back to the article. No more super chats or anything yet, so... I've spent far too many evenings feeling forced to play nice with strange men in bars who wander over when I'm with my female friends because they can't abide seeing women having perfectly nice evenings without them. I have bitten my tongue during inane conversations and humored transparent attempts to neg us. Why don't we just tell men like this to fuck off? Simple. Because they might turn nasty. And when you're a woman, you always have one eye out for men turning nasty. Margaret Atwood was right. And to the predictable hordes who will say, but this was just one man, we don't all contact women online, I will say this. It's never just one man. Never. To deny our reality makes you complicit. Women are tired of your harassment. We want you on the whole to leave us alone, and we definitely don't want you sliding into our DMs while we're doing some secret late night shopping.
Wait, that's not how eBay works.
She's so pathetic. This is the most pathetic person. I'm sorry, but it's pathetic. You're sad. You're sad and you're lonely and you're mad at the world. And there are no comments.
That's true. And unfortunately, she controls a lot of the discourse. So I can't, she is personally sad and pathetic, but in our societies, sad and pathetic people have a lot of reach. Mm-hmm. And after all, she's published by The Independent. Women are tired of harassment. Okay, then men are. Like, honestly, lady, men are. When you read articles like this, like, let's throw it to the crowd, because you got a lot of guys probably listening. Do you want to continue to approach women when you hear articles like this? When you hear these kinds of articles, do you want to run the risk of rejection in order to strike up a conversation and maybe get a relationship out of it? That thing that's critical for the long-term survival of our civilization, that people get together and pair bond and produce children? Oh, okay, there you go. No. I mean, at this point, like, not a chance in hell. Tao the Wanderer. Keep going. Keep telling me. She can get bent. Right? At this point, this is the woman, and more than anyone else, nor than any other woman, she's the one who's been anointed to be the loudest voice for what women think. Mm-hmm. Right? She's been given the podium. She is the loudest voice in the room. Right? Other women aren't getting up on the podium and saying, oh no, this woman is wrong. I actually like approaches, presumably if they're polite, right? I'm not actually afraid of men turning nasty, so you don't have to worry about me being scared of you, or you're creating a horrible situation for me that I feel like I'm being harassed. We don't have that. We just have this woman telling us all what she wants. And honestly, I don't see the problem if men listen to this woman who's telling them what they want and gives it to her. Because it's not like other women are contradicting her. They're not on the podium saying what they want. Not to any great degree. I mean, occasionally you have one woman saying, well, why aren't the men approaching us? But she never counsels other women. Well, maybe we should, just pull back a bit on this kind of stuff. Like the condemnation, the presentation of even just being approached as some kind of horrible trauma. I mean, you read this and you're like, oh, wow, geez. if a man approaches a strange woman in public, she might be causing her tremendous personal distress. Like, who the hell, what men are going to approach women after you frame it that way?
Yeah.
Okay? Like the psychos, basically. Like the men who don't care. Or maybe the men who laugh this stuff off. But boy, you have to sort of be a little bit of a psycho to laugh this stuff off with this is the only thing, the only female voice in the room telling you what the experience is like. You know, like you have to be a bit of a psycho to just laugh this off. You know, and I take what you mean, Brian. This is pathetic. She is pathetic. But on the other hand, I can totally understand why, if this is the only voice in the room, men are choosing to just be like, well, you know, I don't want to give women bad experiences.
No,
I don't
100%.
want to be falsely accused. I don't want to be falsely accused. Like, what is the benefit here? I'm going to risk false accusation, and the most likely outcome is that I'm going to traumatize some woman? Like, and is there any wonder in the last 2 years the number of men approaching women has gone down 10%? And I'm pretty sure they're probably not going to look at it anymore because it's gonna. I'm pretty sure that's going to just go down further and further.
Yep.
Like I don't think that's getting better. I'll put it that way. And it's not going to get better from the commentary like this.
No.
And what really astounds me is the dating coaches refuse to acknowledge the influence of this crap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody pointed out, I didn't come to this conclusion myself. Someone pointed out, it's like, well, but that would mean losing customers. Like they don't want to lose. I mean, what I've seen through my 10 years doing Honey Badger Radio and 20 years talking about these issues is that there are certain narratives that really sell and really get a lot of attention. Okay. Women are victims, gets a lot of attention. And hey guys, you can learn my foolproof method of attracting women, just 3 easy payments of $999 each, and you'll get my seminar of super seduction. That sells.
Yes.
Sells a lot. It sells tremendously. Of course, there's a lot of turnover in that particular industry, but it really does sell. So for women, condemnation of men is what is the big chichinger. And for men, oh, well, I'll teach you the secrets of seduction so that you can actually attract a woman. That's the big ching. And if you don't do either of those things, you're not going to get a hell of a lot of attention. But honestly, I don't know what to say. Like, I can't honestly sit here and say, yeah, I got a foolproof method. Yeah, you can approach women and not get a sexual harassment charge and eventually be successful. And, you know, the only thing I can do is maybe say, hey, if she does reject you, it's not, it's probably not because you're a bad person, right? It's probably not you. Who knows? Maybe it's the freaking pervasive narrative that men are useless as partners. So,
yeah,
maybe. I don't have easy answers to this. I don't have, I don't see an easy answer to this. We have really fucked ourselves. Like, the human race has fucked itself into a pretzel. And any solution is gonna require a hell of a lot of elbow grease. And honesty and questioning.
Yep. It is scary. Yeah,
it
that
is.
Makes it appropriate.
Oh, yeah. There's your Halloween message for Halloween. On Halloween. All right. So I got some thank yous to do and some call outs.
I got a super chat real quick. I'm going to put it on the screen. Okay. It came up as an announcement through Streamlabs, but I can give it like the proper recognition. So Derek Workman gives us $10 and says, they treat men worse than women, so they are afraid of men turning nasty is a lie. Yes. True. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, actually, that is really interesting because she's actually justifying treating men badly by saying that men will turn nasty. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she's nasty to men because she thinks they might become nasty. I guess. Well,
that is a logic. That is a logic. Well, no, I don't even want to say that is a a logicoid. It resembles a thought.
Yeah.
Self-contradicting there, though it may be. All right, so I'm going to do some thank yous, and just to remind everybody, we are doing our fundraiser. This is not an easy message to sell. I'm not kidding when I say that if you want to make bank, you sell women condemnation of men. You basically show them crap like this. I don't know why this is so attractive to women.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Oh, men are horrible. Men are constantly out to get your punani, and also that's terrible. And but what men want is how to make women love me. Women want how much do men hate us, and men want how to make a woman love me. And there they go. That's the sad state of our society.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately our message, which is we got to be honest with ourselves and start digging deeper. Not as palatable, not as easy. So if you want to help us out, if you're just that kind of stubborn person who really likes the truth, feedthebadger.com/support, because we exist because you have allowed us to. You have continued to support us, which makes me feel better, because I'm pretty sure that, like I said, the only way we're going to get out of this is some honesty. And as painful as the honesty is, and as unpalatable as the honesty is, somebody has got to keep that beacon lit. It happens to be us. So feedthebadger.com/support. Please help us out. Know that you are doing at least something. In my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, this is what needs to happen. So if we are going to have a future, we are going to have these conversations and start fixing the foundation. Feedthebadger.com/support to make sure that we can continue to keep that beacon lit and that conversation going. And it is up to you. If you want to know that you are making a difference, I think you are. In fact, I think you're the only ones making a difference. Feedthebadger.com/support. I will do my thank yous now.
Hey, let's do it.
All right. Craig C gives us $25. Thank you, Craig C. Okay, sorry, I'm just double clicking accidentally.
Oh.
All right. So, Telemnar gave us $50. We already mentioned that, but we've mentioned it again.
Ooh. Wow.
Health Potion Addict gave us $100. Thank you, Health Potion Addict.
Oh.
Thank you. Come again.
Hyper Chicken gave us $100. Thank you, Hyper Chicken.
My spoon is too big.
Okay, and that's it so far.
That's great.
We're at the end of the. Yeah, it's good. It's not bad. We only have 2 days left though, guys. So please help out if you are able to. Like I said, I really do believe this is the message that has a hope in hell of actually helping us get some sort of future. I don't think it's a surprise that it is ultimately the truth. And it's a difficult one. It requires people who are incredibly stubborn to keep with it, but also people who are incredibly stubborn to support it. So if you're that stubborn, feedthebadger.com/support. And also, if you want to send us a message, you want to tell us what you think about approaching women after reading articles like that, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. At any point after the show, you can send us a tip. We get the full benefit of your monies, and you get the benefit of being able to bamboozle us. Not bamboozle, like bamboozle. Bamboozle also means confuse, right? Confuse the hell out of us with a little extra amount of text and avoiding YouTube censorship.
Yes.
So there you go. Feedthebadger.com/justthetip if you want to send us a tip. Just tell us we're not screaming into the void and you appreciate us. And feedthebadger.com/support if you want to make sure that we can continue to bring you this content, this unique approach looking at things. What a shocker. We do have to actually pair bond to have a future, because we're a pair bonding species. And we also got to take care of men, since they do a lot of the work that's required to keep society running. And women do not help. They do not help at all. They help nothing. Okay. All right, back to you, Brian. Did you have some final words?
No.
I said the word final. Damn it.
Oh, it's okay. We're at the end anyways. Well, I still working on like the ultimate setup for this chat thing, but I think this will be very useful to us because it lets us acknowledge the Super Chows in particular and the Rumble Gang. Shout out to the Rumble Gang. Give us some cool doges in the chat before we close it out. That will allow you to be like a little bit closer to the rest of the people who haven't caught up to the awesomeness that is Rumble. All right, but anyway, but with that said, we're gonna wrap it up here. I guess we're not doing a news show tomorrow. We're doing a Halloween thing. Is that right, Allison?
Yeah,
So
earlier in the day. I guess you guys could.
Earlier in the day. Yeah.
I guess you guys could do a news show since the what we're doing is gonna have to be really early.
No, that's okay because I've already said we're gonna do the news show on Wednesday, and also that will also be a little bit earlier too because I gotta pick Lindsay up. Like a little earlier than she normally gets out of work, so but it's okay, we'll work with that. So anyway, look forward to that. If you guys like this video, please smash like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we discussed on the show today, and please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame, and we'll talk to you all in the next video.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.